Picture this, right? The gym girl that you like is next to you. She's doing the abductor machine. She's looking good. She's got those booty shorts on. She's got the sports bra on. You are feeling her. You've been feeling her, and you want to talk to her. You're tired of just staring at her out of the corner of your eye like a weirdo. So you finally go and do it, and you talk to her, but like your hands are shaking a little bit. You're nervous. Your voice is sort of unstable, and she can kind of tell that you're very nervous, and you try your best, right? But ultimately, she's like, no, I got a boyfriend. Can't really give you my number. Not interested. Sorry. And you walk away, and, you're happy that you talked to her or whatever, but you are disappointed in yourself by how much of sort of a chump you came off as, right? You don't want to be shaken. You don't want to be unconfident. And you're wondering what that is all about, right? How do I earn more confidence? How do I stop this from happening in the meantime? How do I cultivate that confidence that I hear women love so much, right? And I want to talk about that a little bit in today's video, right? Because I've been thinking about that lately, and I think there's a huge misconception about confidence, of where it comes from and why it's important, that people have not really explored that much. And I'm going to get right into it, guys. Confidence is earned. It's not faked. Do you want to know why you are nervous around the hot girls and why you can't seem to act confident in the way that you should be able to, right? That that you're told that women love? It's because if we pried into it, we would find, much to your horror, that it's likely your brain is actually perfectly calibrated and you actually are logically addressing the situation and coming to the logical conclusion that your likelihood of success with this girl that you're now cold approaching or whatever you're doing is low, right? Like a computer, you've ran a bunch of data through your hardware and you've spit out the conclusion that based on your past interactions, based on where you are on the social hierarchy in comparison to where she is, likely higher than you, right? You're likely going to receive a rejection, and thus you're not confident, right? You're looking at like this wall that you want to scale, and you kind of are realizing that maybe you're not the most adept climber, and your likelihood of falling off and being embarrassed or whatever is higher than what you're comfortable with. You see, there is this notion regarding confidence that it can be faked, or that you can control your confidence sort of like autonomously, right, with your mind. And to a degree, you can interface with your confidence, right? But I would argue that the vast majority of your confidence is simply computed by your brain, by your intuition, based on the data it has, and then almost kind of given to you. And the data that it has right now at this point in time, if you're watching this, if you're struggling with these things, the data that it has is likely that you are a chump. You are not the guy who gets the girls. You are kind of a loser, and logically, because you're probably not unintelligent, right, you're having a hard time with this interaction because ultimately the likelihood of it going the direction you want it to go is poor. It's not quite what you'd want it to be, right? Because interactions with women, they kind of go like this, right? They don't know you at all. So if you're fit, you're attractive, that's going to be kind of a getting you in the door sort of a thing right there. That's good, right? But what happens after that is that they begin to kind of ask you some questions, right? They're going to start asking you some things like, who are you? What do you do? They're basically trying to determine your place in the social hierarchy, and they're quite adept at doing this. And obviously, none of this is said out loud, but when you're meeting people and they're vetting you, this is what's happening. And they are quickly determining that you ain't shit. And it's okay, but that is the reality of the situation. They start to figure out that you aren't really up to much. You don't have any sort of metric that you can present to them to show them you've been doing anything with your life. That's a huge part of your lack of confidence, not just with women, but honestly, if you pay attention, it's probably to anyone you perceive to be higher on the social ladder than yourself. And I'll repeat, this is a huge part of your lack of confidence with women or others that you perceive to be on an equal or greater standing to yourself on the social hierarchy is the fact that you know you aren't really doing anything interesting with your life. Like, do you have your own place? Okay. Do you have your own car? Okay. Do you have some money in the bank? Okay. Do you have a really good social circle of friends you are doing fun things with? Okay. Are you working on something incredibly ambitious that could have like a huge payoff in your life? Okay. Are you doing anything interesting is really where this comes down to. If you're not, then why would you expect a girl or whoever else to take interest in you if you're not doing anything interesting, right? Why do you think women love confidence in the first place? It's because confidence actually is incredibly difficult to fake. Confidence is like you basically explaining to them, for them, if you've got it or not. The reason they like confidence is because, contrary to the popular notion, it actually really can't be faked that easily. And if you've got it, it's probably for a reason. You see, self-image is very important. You shouldn't sweat the small things, but overall, your greater, larger perception of yourself is very important. If you're a realistic person and you know that you are Todd from Home Depot and not Chad from like whatever cool shit he's doing, then you know you probably aren't going to perform well when it comes to courting these girls. And a lot of you, more so than just not doing anything cool, are actually actively engaging in activities that are lowering your self-image. It's not just that you don't have a cool car or anything cool going on, but that you also have this really bad like porn habit or this endless scrolling habit, right? So you actually see yourself not even as just neutral, but below neutral, right? And because you're intelligent and perhaps you even have a sense of morality, you can't fabricate the confidence you need to sell yourself as anything more than what you truly see yourself as, which is a chump. What kind of hentai porn addict do you look up to in games or media or anything like that? Do any of your heroes that you look up to profess to spending hours a day watching weird porn? None of them do, right? But the lost generation that is basically a lot of men our age do engage a lot in this weird behavior. So you're building your self-image up in your mind, not just as an average guy, but kind of a weirdo. So when you go to talk to these girls and you try to be confident, it's almost like you're assuming this role of a sleazy salesperson trying to peddle a product that you actually don't believe in. And that leads to a lack of confidence, that sort of deceptive way of being, right? You feel like you're being some kind of a snake or something. Compare that with a version of yourself that is actually out there doing cool things. You know, you made some money, you've taken care of business, you got your life in order, you're established, and you got good things going on. Then when you talk to these people that you want to bring into your life, you speak to them with confidence, with real confidence, because you know that as they pry deeper into you and find out more about you, you simply have cooler and cooler things to share with them as opposed to things that you're hiding, right? You have such confidence because in a way you want them to ask questions about you because you know that your answers to these questions are going to be things that they want to hear, that they're excited to hear, right? That is the dynamic that's going to increase your confidence. Actually living a life that is worth being proud of, that's worth being confident about. Imagine that. It's so simple, but everyone gets caught up in all this like game and pickup nonsense instead of actually working on themselves to the point where they have something presentable and real to share with the world that they are actually excited to present to the world. So that right there, guys, it's going to be the good news and the bad news, right? The bad news is that you're not going to be able to fake your way into a girl because it's harder than it's made to seem, right? You actually have to work to become someone who's earned their confidence. And the good news is that you can acquire more confidence. You can do that work. The thing that has been eluding you for so long now, right? You have a method by which to create more of that confidence. Stop the horrible habits. Start to become a cool person. That's basically it. Make correct decisions over bad decisions. Start building some wealth. Start doing some cool things. Start working on some interesting, big, whatever projects with your life, as opposed to being the villain whom you cannot allow to win, right? That's another thing, guys. It's like if you see yourself as somebody that shouldn't win, that shouldn't be confident, you're going to push yourself along that narrative. So as opposed to being the villain that you don't want to see win, become the hero who you can root for. Do this and watch your confidence explode, because it has a reason to. And that's it, guys. Thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed, please like and subscribe and leave a comment letting me know what you think. And if you have any questions that you might like me to answer in upcoming videos, you can leave those in the comments as well, and perhaps I'll make a video answering your questions. So I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.